All right. Look at you with a live background. It does look better than the
Real
fake
background.
one.
Like, look at this. Watch. It moves. Hey, it's real. Yeah. This is not a Zoom background. This is a real, live, honest to God, nice, pretty summertime background.
So if during the recording of this radio show the geese decide to attack, we're going to get a
Right.
bird's eye view.
Right. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. You'll just see me leave, and these will just be dangling, and the goose will come and just start. Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and just start recording the first 10 or 12 minutes and wing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got stuff. I got our website pulled up with a ton of information that I can refer to.
Okay.
And we can talk about my experiences traveling, because I think that's important for people to hear too.
Yes.
That's tourism.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition, as you are listening to the show today. However, Justin and I are on a Zoom screen on a somewhat sticky Monday morning, but that did not stop Justin from picking up his computer and heading outside of the visitor center to
We are
record
here.
in the great outdoors this morning.
We are here. Our visitor center is open. We're in here at work. We've actually been here for about 3 weeks now. We've been open for 3 weeks now. So yeah, we're here. It's a beautiful day so far. It's going to get a little bit hotter. I think even when this airs tomorrow on Tuesday, it's going to be even hotter. So yeah, I'm glad we're doing this on Monday.
So it's going to
10
be
o'clock in
funny
the morning.
because if somebody is listening to the show now on Tuesday afternoon and they're going to think, wait, I drove by there and saw some guy sitting out there talking to himself. That must have been the radio show.
I was talking to you. Yes. Yes.
Well, you look pretty, what's the saying? You don't look any worse for wear, considering you have just returned from a road trip, your annual road trip with your family.
Yes.
How did that go and where did you go?
It went really well. Thank you. It was pushed off. We were supposed to happen in April. Nothing happened in April, including our road trip. So we pushed it back to June, and we talked long and hard about it. And we did a lot of research, and with our safety and all that, and our family. And it was a lot of research, and it was a lot of decisions, but we decided to go ahead and go with it. We flew out to Seattle and rented a car and drove down the coast from Seattle, down the PCH, all the way down to Los Angeles, and then flew home again.
Wow.
So 1,875 miles.
And when you say we, it was your wife, and tell me the ages of your children.
7 and 4.
Wow.
So this is our third year doing this. So they're very accustomed to long road trips, and we have fun. We have a lot of fun. They fight a little bit more in the back seat than they used to when we first started going. As they get older, they fight a little bit more, but we try to do a lot of fun stuff along the way, and went to a volcano. We didn't know there was a volcano in the Central Valley. We went to a volcano, went up to 10,000 feet. We were throwing snowballs at each other in our sandals and t-shirts, and it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun. We went places that were uncrowded. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about how the country is reacting differently, how communities are reacting differently to the current situation. It's different. It's amazing. It's not state by state. It's town by town. It's community by community. Things are just super different. It's fascinating. It was fascinating to see, and fascinating time to travel if we could do it safely. And so we stayed away from big cities. Like, we didn't go into Seattle. We landed in Seattle and then got right immediately out of Seattle. So we stayed away from large cities, and we just stayed in small areas and went to a lot of parks and a lot of open space, and it was good.
Well, I know when you guys went last year, when you came back, we did a show and we talked a little bit about how your personal travel on vacations kind of does shape how you approach some things when you get back here locally. You pick up little
Absolutely.
tidbits and things that you learn that other communities are doing. What did you learn from a safety perspective? I mean, did you happen upon somebody who was doing something that you thought, wow, we could be doing it this way back home?
There were definitely things that we saw that we realized that they could be done better. We realized there was a lot of lack of information. That was one of the most handicapped things, is that people are out there. People are out there traveling. We have people here. Like I said, our visitor center's open. People are moving around the country. Not tons of people, but people are still moving around the country. And we found that one of the worst things that you can do is just have a message that just says, no information at all. Staying home is safer, which is great. That's if that's your community message, that's your community message, if that's what your community is saying. But you have to realize that people are still moving around. So the complete lack of information is the worst, because there are still restaurants in your community. There are still things happening in your community that are open. And just to give no information at all was worse. We think so that we definitely ran into that. I definitely ran into that a lot. We noticed businesses, if any businesses are listening to this, it's so important to have your information updated, if nothing else, on your Facebook page. I know your website, sometimes there's administrators and you have to work your way through and you don't have access, and that it's wonderful and it's important to have your website updated, but at least on Facebook, do a post, pin it to the top, say our hours are blank, during this time, or we're closed, or whatever it is, whatever you need people to understand. Because, not everybody that's coming to your business, you might be used to a lot of just locals, but not everybody is just local. Not everybody is going to be in the community and in the know. So it just, if somebody's listening and they have a business, it's so easy to do it. Just if you have a Facebook page, almost everybody has a Facebook page, just do something, pin it to the top. You can put a little thing, say, pin this message to the top, and just say, our hours are so-and-so. And when they change, just change them.
Update it.
And that would be the biggest thing that we noticed, is just that lack of information, the lack of current information. And things change. Things are changing on a daily, weekly basis. So there is some management to it.
And that's true, because different states are in different phases. Some are already in phase 2 or 3. Some are still back in phase 1. There are pieces of some states that are still in shutdown mode. I know that where Josh is from in Pennsylvania, they've got a red, yellow, green system based on the community. So,
and it's very confusing.
Universal.
It's very confusing. And where we are right at that peak of Virginia here, so we've got 4 states that are within, half an hour or so. So people are coming, even if they're just coming from a half an hour away, or 45 minutes away, they're a totally different state, totally different regulations, totally different, all that stuff. So you have to understand that even though you don't think they're local, half an hour away is pretty local still. So it's confusing. It's confusing to have all of the different regulations and all of the different speeds that everybody's doing things at. So as a business, just, take a minute and use that empowerment of your social media and just keep that information up there.
I do a Facebook Live conversation every couple of weeks called Marketing Matters with Nikki at the Front Royal Warren County Chamber of Commerce. And we do it on the Chamber's Facebook page. And my message a week and a half ago was, how do you balance that, hey, we're back, come shop, with we're also taking these safety precautions? And my big thing was, you got to tell them something. You got to say, this is what we're doing, and you got to keep saying it, because it's going to change hour to hour, day to day. So yeah, right. I totally agree. The message could not be more important right now.
And it was nice. We are doing an open and safe campaign, and that's with the Northern Shenandoah Valley. So there's a coalition of different entities, governmental entities, between Clark County and Winchester and Frederick County, and we're working together. And we've got this open and safe program. So business can register for free, and there's printable materials. We've got some posters here at the Visitor Center. I can bring those out if anybody wants one, but it's just very simple messaging, but it's just saying we're open and we're doing the best that we possibly can, following all of the order, all the regulations that are, changing from time to time. And we're doing our best, and we thank you for your business, and we thank you for your understanding as we're all working our way through this, So that's a nice coalition. That's a nice effort that we're doing. And I did notice those efforts and probably 5 or 6 communities, very similar efforts. And it was nice to see those in those communities when we were traveling, because then that shows some solidarity in the community and some solidarity in the businesses, and know that everybody's kind of working together there. So that we felt a lot better in those communities than in other ones. So.
Felicia was on the show last Wednesday and talked a little bit about the open and safe nsv.biz. And so the links and everything and all the information for that are up on the river953.com if you want to go search the Valley Today podcast show. But let's take a break. When we come back, can we talk about tourism here and what you're seeing coming in and going out and how things are looking in our area?
Absolutely. We can rattle through some stuff that's open, some information I have on things that are opening up soon, and I've got all that information right in front of me. So
fabulous. Yep. We'll do all of that when we come back. It is Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition, as you were listening to the show. However, Justin and I are pre-recording today's conversation over Zoom on a Monday morning. When we come back, we're going to get a status of our tourism here in Winchester, Frederick County. I am Janet Michael, and you are listening to The Valley Today. And scene. All right.
Getting texts here.
Everybody wants to know where you are and what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. So I've got Renee, who's been doing a really good job on our website and keeping up our travel updates and now open page. And there's just a ton of information on there. With just, it's a good thing to peruse if you're trying to figure out, hey, let's do something. Is this open? Is that open? We are trying to do our very best to keep that updated on a daily basis. So I can go through some stuff that's opening soon, maybe some things that people might not know are open or maybe thinking would be open but aren't. So we can go through that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get back to it. Welcome back to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday. As you were listening to the show, of course, Justin and I have pre-recorded our conversation on a Monday morning. And it's a sticky Monday morning, but that didn't stop Justin from sitting outside at the Visitor Center. And as I have been doing with several of the Valley Today shows, when I get permission, of course, is you can watch our conversation on the YouTube channel for the radio station. If you go to YouTube and do a quick search for the River 953, you will find our channel along with the Valley Today playlist and a couple of, I'd say maybe I'm up to a dozen, maybe more of shows are up there that you can watch, which lets you hear what we talk about before we hit the record button and what we talk about during the breaks. Although Justin and I did a quick break that time, it didn't take us a minute or two to get back to business, because that's kind of what we're talking about, is getting back to business. And Justin, you were telling me that you guys, Renee in particular, have really put a lot of effort and work into getting your website to be as up to date and current as possible.
Yeah, it started out, we did it really quickly. We created the page when everything first started to hit, I think March 14th. I think about March 17th we had this thing up, and then it was all closings. It was like the most negative thing. It was like, everything is closed, sorry, everything is canceled. But now we've got a lot more positive information on there. And we try to, we've got some stuff that's closed on there, but you have to kind of scroll down for it. We're trying to lead in with all the positive stuff. And there is a lot of information, a lot of stuff that's open, a lot of things that are going good, that are available for people to do. So, yeah, we're able to kind of go through some of that.
And how do you guys gather that information? I mean, is that literally Renee sending emails and making phone calls and saying, and are you open? Facebook, what are your hours? What are your safety protocols? I mean, gee, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yes. She is constantly on scrolling through social media. If she cannot find the information on social media, she will go to the website. She will make a phone call. She will shoot an email. And she is just constantly, it's a lot of information. You might think, Winchester's not that big of an area, but there's so much stuff here and so many businesses. I mean, we have over 200 restaurants alone, plus all the stuff there is to do, all the attractions and all the events and all the smaller things that are going on, wineries, breweries, everything. There's all that information, and there's a tremendous amount of it, and all of those things are moving targets. So it's kind of hard as a consumer to kind of keep an eye on all of that. but yeah, she's doing that. She's checking it every day, going out there and making all those changes. So she does a lot of work. So a lot of credit to Renee. She's working extremely hard on keeping this updated. And it's not just, it's for locals. It's absolutely for locals to look at. But again, like I was saying earlier, information is so key. We're trying to have this from the viewpoint of a visitor. If somebody's coming or planning to come into the community, they're going, oh man, should we come out there? Is stuff open? What's open? And we're trying to be, do as good a job as we can, really showing the wealth of all the stuff that is open and available right now. So there's a lot out there. So yeah, what do you want to go through? What do you want to talk about here?
What are you seeing? I mean, are you seeing an uptick in people coming into the visitor center, and what are they asking you? Where do they want to go, and what are their questions?
People are just asking what's open. There is a lot of questions of outdoor. Where can we go outside? Where we can go hike around? Where we can go walk around? They want to know where there's outdoor dining. That's really popular right now. And we're very fortunate. Old Town Winchester, obviously, all that outdoor dining, it's actually the biggest concentration of outdoor dining in the entire Northern Shenandoah Valley. So there's a lot of opportunity to send them there. And then we've got so much out in the county. Almost all of our farm markets are open. We send them out there. People are just looking for outdoor spaces. People are looking for fresh air and outdoor spaces. So we have a lot of that here. We were very well positioned with that. When we first opened the visitor center about 3 weeks ago, we were getting about 2 to 5 people a day. And now we're up into the 20s or so people per day.
Wow. And are they more, you mentioned earlier about sometimes you can live a half hour away, but still be living in another state. Are you seeing them coming from Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland, and the closer connected states to us?
Yes, we are. And Florida.
There's always that and Florida.
Yeah. And Florida. Yeah. Yeah. And Florida. So we're seeing, but that's that corridor, that's that 95 corridor. So in the fall, we will see a lot of people from up north, and they will come down through on their way down to Florida. So maybe some of the people from Florida are still kind of stragglers coming on up and making their way up into New England for the summer. But then we're seeing a lot of Northern Virginia, a lot of Maryland, a lot of DC, a lot of Pennsylvania. We're seeing that.
And phase 2 allows for most retail businesses to be open. People can shop inside up to, is it 50 people in a store, or is it dependent on your capacity and then it's only 50%?
I believe it's 50% capacity. I believe
so. A lot are still doing curbside, and that's
a lot are still doing curbside. You can do online orders. The non-essential businesses are open. So we're getting more of those. And then like the Museum of Shenandoah Valley, their gardens are open. And then I believe the museum opens tomorrow. And let me actually confirm that. You were about to say something.
Yeah, I was thinking they are going to open this week. And I don't remember where I saw that. But I'm thinking that may be true. And that's the other thing that is so cool, because at least in their particular case, they have the indoor, but they also have the gardens and the outdoor, which makes it a whole lot easier for people to continue enjoying their facility.
Correct. Yes. So we've got the gardens, and they've got the big bugs just opened, opens, which is, the entire site to open June 23rd. So, so we're rolling there. In the giant bugs, I got to take my kids there. I haven't been there with them yet. I think we might go this weekend if we have a chance. But that is a really, really, really cool thing. And they were so excited about that. They've been so excited about that exhibit for so long. I'm so glad to see it's finally there and open. So Julie would be a great person to have on for you and talk about that.
I've got to reach out to, I want to do a show out there because the last show that I did with them, I recorded there on site, and we have some video of walking through the gardens and that sort of thing. But she promised me that we would do a show with Big Bug so that we could have some pictures of me standing. She kept thinking she wanted to get me to stand next to a giant spider, and I told her that just was not going to happen, because apparently there's a big granddaddy long legs. And I'm like, no, not doing that. That'll give me nightmares for months.
Right. So they're open. Let's see here. So we've got our campgrounds are open. Both of our campgrounds are open. You can do tent camping, you do RV camping. All of our horseback riding places are open. Riding S Ranch, or Rocking S Ranch, Magic Mountain, and Walking After Midnight. They're all open doing the horseback riding. So that's kind of a good idea if you want to get out. It's kind of a fun thing where you can do a limited number of people and be outside. The ghost tours, Apparition Trail, they're doing those in Old Town. Those are up and rocking and rolling. Again, the farm markets, the Rock Harbor Golf Course is open. The Appleland Sports Center, the driving range there is open. The Apple Blossom Mall has reopened. The Shenandoah Valley Civil War Museum is open, so you can go in there. Belgrove Plantation's reopened. Alamo Draft House, you can do private events there, and you can also get their food to go, which is really cool. They can do curbside, and they're doing all sorts of creative specials there for their food. So keep an eye on that. If you're not a friend of theirs on Facebook, they've got some really cool stuff coming up. And let me just rattle through. There's so much stuff for outdoor recreation. Sharando's open, Clearbrook's open, Jim Barnett, 3rd Winchester Battlefield Park is open. I go there all the time. It's really close to my house, so I'm there all the time. I manage the Bluebird boxes up there too, so I'm always up there. Kernstown Battlefield, their grounds are open. Their tours are going to resume, and exhibits are going to open on July 3rd. So in another week or so, week and a half. Those are going to 2 weeks. Those are going to open. Lake Frederick's open, Cove Campground, Tuscarora Trail, Winchester Green Circle, State Arboretum, Gardens at the MSV is open. Obviously, Cedar Creek and Belgrove National Historic Park, the hiking areas are all open. There, George Washington National Forest. All of these things are open. So there's tons and tons that's open right now. And then obviously our breweries, wineries, they're all open. They've all reopened at this point.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. And the wineries and breweries are open too, right?
Breweries, wineries, and coffee shops are all open. So yeah, in one way or another, go on our website, go on visitwinchesterva.com, and you will you'll see the travel advisory and updates. Click on that, and we've got a whole list of things. And again, we're doing our absolute best to update this. Sometimes people change stuff, quicker than we're able to get it on here. So, we have links on here, so you can just link through just to make sure before you go, or call or check their Facebook before you go, just to make absolutely sure. But pretty much everything is open. Some things that aren't open, the Winchester Little Theater, their next production has been moved to September, I believe. Unfortunately, the summer theater program for the Shenandoah University, all of those shows have unfortunately been canceled. So we're
they were supposed to be my guest. As we're recording this on Monday morning, they were going to be my guest today. And I realized that had all been canceled. But I got the most amazing guest that, as people are listening to this now on Tuesday, that you would have heard yesterday. I got my old dear friend, Dr. Miles Davis, to do a radio show with me. So Miles came back for old time's sake. We're going to work on a new project together in the future. So that was kind of nice. But yeah, that was kind of bummed to see that, the theaters weren't able, and that makes so much sense from a safety perspective. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, it does. And it's very unfortunate, but that's just one of those things. All the museums, the Abrams Delight, Stonewall Jackson's, Washington's office, they're all closed right now. They have not decided an opening date. Patsy Cline Historic House, unfortunately, closed right now. Again, considering when they're going to be able to reopen, not sure yet. And the Bright Box Theater, still, to the best of my knowledge, they don't have any ticketed shows for sale that I'm aware of. But check their website, check their Facebook page. Something may have come up. But there's nothing going on there right now. That's most of what I've got here. And then all the events have all been either canceled or pushed back. Everything that was going to happen over the summer has been
now looking at the fall and keeping our fingers crossed that there's no second wave.
Right. And it's all, it's all the unknown right now. So we're still dealing with it, but
so where can people find all of this information on your website?
Visit winchesterva.com, and just right there, one of the first tiles you'll see it's one of the tiles. It'll say travel updates and now open. You'll see it right there at the top. And there's just a lot of information on there. So, if you're looking for something to do, looking for some ideas, need to get out of the house a little bit and safely do so, there's a lot of ideas on that page.
Fabulous. Well, Justin, thank you for coming outside and having a conversation with me today.
Absolutely. I enjoyed getting out of the office. for a minute and
Yeah, the
enjoying
14
the heat.
steps that it took you.
It was about 14 steps. Oh, we think at this point we are still going to be doing our newcomers event. So if you're new to the area, we think we're still probably going to do it July 2nd. I need to confirm that. Keep an eye on our Facebook page
Okay.
and on our website, but we think we're still going to do it. It would be July 2nd, and we would have it mostly, we'd have everybody kind of out here. We've got this nice big patio area, so I think we'd have everybody out here instead of inside. People could still go inside, but yeah, keep an eye out for that. If you're new to the area or know somebody new to the area wants to get some information, we should have that. We should still be holding that.
Awesome. Well, we are going to wrap up today's episode of Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition. We have been chatting with Justin Kerns on a Zoom screen on a Monday morning. And before I wrap up and sign off for the day, I want to give a quick shout out and a thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Neff in Strasburg, who apparently met my husband last week and told him that they love the show and that they listen all of the time. So that gave me my little smile for the week last week. So I wanted to give them a quick shout out and say thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. Is the Top of Virginia Regional Chambers Valley Business Today. I'm actually going to record it this afternoon. Jody Wall is going to have a conversation with me about the community leadership program that is currently taking registrations. So meet me back here tomorrow a few minutes after noon, and I will have that show ready to go for you.
And that's how you do it.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. All right. Back inside to the nice cool. It's supposed to have thunderstorms this afternoon, but I don't see a single cloud in the sky.
Yeah. Well, and I think they come out of nowhere, and
they just come.
And then and then all of a sudden they're here, and I'm just glad that I got through this whole recording, because I haven't yet managed to close the windows and shut up the house and turn on the air and all that, and it'll be a blessing when we do, because it'll be cooler. But then when every neighbor, because the other day I was getting ready to record somebody, and I kid you not, 5 minutes before I'm ready to sit down and hit the record button, every neighbor on all sides decides to mow their grass.
Of course.
And I got lawnmowers going all over the place, and I'm running around trying to shut windows. And then I'm sitting here doing the show, sweating because it's just a hot box in the house. It was a hot mess.
Nice.
All right, my dear. We'll go back to work. Tell Renee I said hello and keep up the good work. And I will check in with you later.
All right. It's good to see you.
See ya.
All right. Bye.